library. So today we are going to read a book by Dr. Seuss. Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are by Dr. Seuss. Did I ever tell you how lucky you are by Dr. Seuss? When I was quite young and quite small for my size, I met an old man in the desert of Dries, and he sang me a song I will never forget. At least, well, I haven't forgotten it yet. He sat in a terribly prickly place, but he sang with a sunny, sweet smile on his face. When you think things are bad, when you feel sour and blue, when you start to get mad, you should do what I do. Just tell yourself, Ducky, you're really quite lucky. Some people are much more, much more unlucky than you. Be glad you don't work on the Bunlebung Bridge that they're building across Boober Bay at Bum Ridge. It's a troublesome world. All the people who are in it are troubled with troubles almost every minute. You ought to be thankful a whole heaping lot for the places and people you're lucky you're not. Just suppose, for example, you lived in Gazette and got caught in that traffic on State Highway 8. Or suppose, just for instance, you lived in a geyser with your bedroom up here and your bathroom up 3. Just suppose you were poor Herbert Hart, who has taken his thrumdimbulator apart. He never will get it together, I'm sure. He never will know if the gick or the gore fits into the scrux or the snucks or the snore. Yes, Ducky, you're lucky. You're not Herbert Hart, who has taken his thrumdimbulator apart. Think they work you too hard. Think of poor Ali Sard. He has to mow grass in his uncle's backyard, and it's quick growing grass, and it grows as he mows it. The faster he mows it, the faster it grows it. And all that his stingy old uncle will pay for this shoving that mower around in the hay. Hay is the piffless pay of 2 Douglas as day. And Allie can't live on such piffless pay. So he has to paint flagpoles on Sundays and grooves. How lucky you are you don't live in Biz's shoes. And poor Mr. Bix every morning at 6. Poor Mr. Bix has to Borfin to fix. It doesn't seem fair. It just doesn't seem right. But his Borfin just seems to go schlump every night. It schlumps in a heap, sadly needing repair. Bix figures it's due to the local night air. It takes him all day to unschlump it. And then the night air comes back and it schlumps once again. So don't you feel blue. Don't get down in the dumps. You're lucky you don't have a Borfin that schlumps. And while we are at it, consider the sklots, the crumple-horn, web-footed, green-bearded sklots, whose tail is entailed with unsolvable knots. If B isn't muchly more worse off than you, I'll eat my umbrella. That's just what I'll do. And you're lucky indeed you don't ride on a camel to ride on a camel. You sit on a whammo. A whammo, you know, is a sort of a saddle held on by a button that's known as a faddle. And boy, if your old whammo faddle gets loose, I'm telling you, Ducky, you're gone like a goose. And poor Mr. Potter, T-crosser, I daughter, he has to cross and he has to dot it, and in a an I&T factory out in Van Nuys. Oh, the jobs people work at out west near Houch. There's a Houcher bee watcher. His job is to keep both his eyes on the lazy down bee. A bee that is watched will work harder than you see. Well, he watched and he watched, but it's bit of his watch. That bee didn't work any harder, no much. So then somebody said our old bee watching man just isn't bee watching as hard as he can. He ought to be watched by another Hotcher. The thing that we need is a bee watcher. Well, the bee watcher watched the bee watcher. He didn't watch well, so another Hotcher had to come in as watcher. And today, all the Hotchers who lived in Hotch are watching on watching. The watcher who's watching that bee. You're not a Hotch watcher. You're lucky, you see. And how fortunate you're not Professor DeBreeze, who has spent the past 32 years, if you please, trying to teach Irish ducks how to read Divinese. And think of the poor puffing flugelhorn players who have to parade down the flugelhorn stairs every morning to wake up the Prince of Hoboken. It's awful how often their bugles get broken. And oh, just suppose you were poor Harry Hadow. Try as he will, he can't make any shadow. He thinks that perhaps something's wrong with his giz, and I think that by golly there probably is. And the brothers Bazoo, the poor brothers Bazoo. Suppose your hair grew like theirs happened to do. You think you're unlucky, I'm telling you, ducky. Some people are much, oh, ever so muchly more unlucky than you. And suppose that you lived on that forest in France, where the average young person just hasn't a chance to escape from the perilous pants-eating plants. But your pants are safe. You're a fortunate guy, and you ought to be shouting, how lucky am I? And speaking of planes, you should be greatly gladish. You're not Farmer Fangenberg's 17th radish. And you're so lucky you're not Gucky Gone, who lives by himself 90 miles out of town in the ruins of Ronk. Ronk is rather run down. And you're so lucky you're not a left sock left behind. Not a left sock left behind by mistake in the caverns of Kronk. Thank goodness for all the things you are not. Thank goodness you're not something someone forgot and left all alone in some punkerish place like rusty tin coat hanging in space. That's why I say, Ducky, don't grumble, don't stew. Some critters are much, ever so muchly more unlucky than you. And that is the end of Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are by Dr. Seuss. I hope you liked today's video. Bye. See you in the next video. Bye.